Welcome to USA Update, your fastest and most trusted source for breaking news from. In Washington, D.C., a climate of fear has been growing inside immigrant communities ever since President Donald Trump took office. At Centrania, a well-known bilingual preschool, staff members found themselves preparing for situations that were never part of early childhood education. Instead of practicing only fire drills or safety routines, teachers began rehearsing what to do if immigration and customs enforcement officials arrived at the school's door. Administrators say these preparations began early in the year and became more urgent as ICE patrols intensified in the surrounding historically Latino neighborhood. Teachers stopped taking children to nearby parks, libraries, and playgrounds that had long served as extensions of the classroom. The impact became even more visible in October, when the school canceled its annual Hispanic Heritage Month parade, a beloved celebration where parents traditionally dressed their children in cultural attire representing their home countries. But with ICE agents already stopping school staff on their way to work, despite all staff having legal status, administrators feared the event could draw unwanted attention to the school. What had been a joyful community tradition suddenly became a potential risk. Tensions escalated nationwide after ICE agents entered a Spanish immersion preschool in Chicago and arrested a teacher inside the building. That incident sent shockwaves through immigrant communities, especially among childcare workers who now fear they could be detained at any moment. Many educators described feeling vulnerable and anxious, even those with legal authorization to work in the United States. Parents, too, felt the pressure. Some became hesitant to drop off their children, while others pulled their children out of preschool altogether. The fears come as part of Trump's push for what he has called the largest mass deportation effort in United States history, a policy shift that has had a profound effect on the country's childcare system. The sector is heavily reliant on immigrant labor and was already facing a significant worker shortage. Many immigrant teachers and caregivers, most of whom are legally residing and working in the country, say they now live with constant fear of unexpected encounters with ICE. Some have left their jobs voluntarily, and others have been forced out due to changes in immigration rules and legal uncertainties. Childcare centers are, reporting increasing difficulty in hiring new staff, with many qualified immigrants just unwilling to submit to background checks or work in positions that might put them in public view. Directors say this shortage has really disrupted classroom routines and, in some cases, forced programs to reduce capacity or even limit services. Teachers are reporting emotional exhaustion, with some carrying immigration documents everywhere they go and others avoiding driving because they're afraid of being stopped. Several said they worry daily about whether they'll make it home to their own families after school. The pressure extends to the children themselves. Educators say they've actually observed changes in behavior, including increased crying, reluctance to separate from parents, and, signs of anxiety. Young children may not understand immigration policy, but they definitely sense the tension around them. Meanwhile, some families have just disappeared from classrooms without notice. Teachers say they often do not know whether the families have moved, been detained, or gone into hiding. Legal aid groups and community organizations have responded by holding workshops to educate families about their rights and how to react if confronted by immigration officers. Some schools have quietly developed emergency plans, including strategies for quickly reuniting children with parents and communicating securely with families. Others have symbolically declared themselves safe zones, aiming to reassure parents even though such designations carry limited legal weight. Still, the emotional impact on child care workers remains severe. Many say they feel torn between their responsibility to their students and the fear they carry for themselves and their own families. In interviews, teachers describe the classroom as the only place that still feels normal, even as they hide their anxiety behind smiles and songs. They say they continue working because the children need stability, even when the adults themselves feel anything but stable. As political debates continue in Washington, the reality on the ground inside America's preschools tells a different story, one shaped not by rhetoric, but by everyday fear, uncertainty, and resilience. Supporters of strict immigration enforcement argue that tougher measures are necessary for public safety. Critics say the current approach is causing widespread harm to families, educators, and young children who are among the most vulnerable members of society. What remains clear is that immigration policy changes are reshaping the childcare sector in PR.
Thanks for watching my channel.